Cricket's unsatisfactory relationship with technology cost England dear in their first game of this 2020 Tri-Series when Glenn Maxwell survived a controversial umpiring decision to blast Australia to victory in Hobart. Maxwell, who had taken 3 wickets with his part-time off-spin in England's below-par 155 for 9, seemed to be caught low by Jason Roy off Adil Rashid, with Australia faltering in what should have been a routine run chase. Umpire Gerard Aboud, who stood out for wearing a helmet throughout the match, called for TV confirmation that the catch was clean and made it clear he believed it was when his soft signal was out. Yet somehow TV official Chris Brown overturned the decision, even though the whole of the game knows that the two-dimensional television images always make it look as though there might be doubt. It was a pivotal moment because England had reduced Australia to 98 for 4 in the 12th over, and if they could have seen the back of Maxwell, they could easily have pulled off an unlikely opening T20 victory to follow their comprehensive 50-over series triumph. As it was, Maxwell, left out of the one-day side amid suggestions of a poor attitude to training, showed his class to reach an unbeaten century with a 6-off mark wood to win the match with just 1 needed, as Australia were able to pull off a second victory in their opening 2 Tri-Series games. In truth, England, far less consistent in T20 cricket than the longer limited overs game, could only blame themselves after blowing their chance to make a match-defining total amid a clutter of self-inflicted dismissals. Then Alex Hales spilled a straightforward catch on the boundary off Tom Curran, surprisingly preferred to another spinner in Liam Dawson. When the big show Maxwell had made just 40, it was to prove a costly miss. Now, after their 6th defeat in 7 2020 internationals in Australia, they will need to win in Melbourne on Saturday to avoid a 2-match shootout against New Zealand for the right to play Australia in the final. England looked well on course for the score of 200+. They wanted to put pressure on Australia at this small ground when they raced along to 60 for 1 off the 6-over power play and then 93 for 2 in the 10th over. At the centre of that was a batsman in David Malan, who could not have done much more in his 2 T20 internationals so far to prove that he deserves a regular place in England's short-form side. It was Malan's stunning 78 off 44 balls against South Africa in Cardiff last summer that so impressed coach Trevor Bayliss and led to his prompt introduction to Test cricket. Now he went after Australia's giant 6'8" and new paceman Billy Stanlake, hitting him for 2 sixes and 16 off his second over, as England looked to be carrying the momentum gained in the one-day series into T20 cricket. Yet one of the periodic collapses that still haunt England in all forms of the game was prompted by the fall in quick succession of Captain Owen Morgan and his explosive deputy Joseph Buttler. England did not help themselves, Sam Billings wasting another chance to establish himself and David Willey giving it away. In attempting to replicate his destruction of Nathan Lyon in the warm-up in Canberra on Friday, with Malan becoming one of 3 unlikely victims for the slingy off-spin of Maxwell, falling for 50 off 36 balls. England lost 6 for 33 in 6 overs before Curran and Chris Jordan lifted them to a still way below par 155 for 9. Briefly it looked as though it might be enough when Willey took 2 wickets with the first 4 balls of the innings, seeing the back of David Warner before swinging one back through the defences of Chris Lynn. All that did was bring together the big hitting talents of Darcy Short and Maxwell, who put Australia back on course with a stand of 78 in 8 overs ended only by an instinctive return catch from Adil Rashid to send back Short.